up, YouTube? It's been 2000 Wagio. So I have been requested to do a kind of a combo video and kind of explain how some of the cards in the Hydralander Lightsworn deck work. So here I am with the actual deck. Yes, I do actually have the deck. Lightsworn is probably the only deck I actually own, besides the Dino deck, but I play various versions of that. So here it is. The only difference between this, the real deck I own, versus the deck you saw on the previous deck profile is that instead of Armades, I got Naturia Beast. As you guys probably saw, I rarely go into Armades anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You can play either one. So let's get on with the combos. So, what you guys are probably wanting to know is the Hydralander. This card right here is the most important card out of all of them. The Hydralander basically is Judgment Dragon summoning condition plus Card Trooper's cost with Zodiac Dryden's effect. So the idea here is that you got 5 monsters with different names in the graveyard, 5 or more. You summon this bad boy, you mill 3. As long as you still have monsters with no repeat monster names, you get to blow up a card in the field if this does not target. It's just blow whatever it up. Doesn't matter. Right? So the point of this, playing this monster in this Lightsworn deck, is to use Fairy Tale Snow. So you use Fairy Tale Snow, you pay your cost. If there's monsters with the same names, you use Fairy Tale to banish those repeat copies. So then you just, another monster is summoned, whatever position you need for the term, and then you blow it up. So that's the idea. And plus, this is also to help you against spirals. You see this because this is a either player's turn type effect. So you can kind of like, blow up their Helix, or you can blow up their field spell, and then they're just kind of like, well, what the hell do I do now? You just keep on blowing up their stuff, and disruption, disruption, disruption. That's the name of the game. So these are all the repeats. Raiden, Lumina, Ghost Ogre, and Snow. Those are the only repeat monsters, because these are the only ones you need. You need Raiden because he mills the most. Lumina, bring back Raiden. Ghost Ogres, because if you open with them, it's busted, and it's a hand trap. And then Fairy Tale Snow to fix your graveyard when you need it. The rest of the monsters, on the other hand, are all different, and they are different for a reason. Now, these 2 monsters, I would play 3 of. However, to keep up with the tactic of the Hydralander, hold on, I'm going to move some stuff here. To keep up with the strategy that we decided to go with, I decided to play monsters that more or less will do the same thing. So what are you looking at right here? Alright, we'll start with these guys. This is just another way, like for example, Photon Thrasher, Hat Tricker, Tin Goldfish, and Goblinberg. More or less, they all serve the same purpose. And that purpose is to get an extra summon. So this is how you get to Minerva, basically. You summon any one of these 4 guys. They basically all represent the same card without having the same name. And then, for example, because you can only play 1 wolf because you can't boggle the graveyard down with the names, I play 1 Trick Clown, 1 Revival Golem, and 1 Fellas. And these guys, more or less, all do the same thing as wolf. Revival Golem does have one little added trick, that if, like say for example, if you're under max C and you mill this guy and you don't want to give him the draw, you can opt to put it in your hand instead. That's not always going to be useful, but sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. That's up to you. Basically, the best cards are Thrasher and Wolf, and what they do. The rest of these guys are kind of the worst version of them, quote unquote. They just come with more stipulations. Like this guy, you gotta have more than 1 monster. These 2 guys have activated effects, so they can be Ghost Ogre, and they can be Veilered and all that stuff. Revival Golem works exactly like Wolf. So it's milled however it's milled. It's like, oh, would you like to special summon me or add me to hand? Yes, I would. For Mage Clown, you take some damage when you do it, and Fellas has to be sent by a monster, but it's a tuner, so basically all those cards have one singular purpose. All 8 of these monsters have one purpose, and that is to give you guys the monsters you need to get out the Minerva. Or another combo. Grand Maju, because we banish a shit ton and get big. Max C, sole purpose, you know what actually, it's a hand trap, it's deterrent. I use it more as a deterrent. Don't expect to draw a whole lot off of this, unless that player is really ballsy. Glow Up Bulb for Nat Beast and my favorite negator, which is a dragon. Back row hate. Draw for days! Search for days! Draw for days! Plus Grand Maju. Load that graveyard. Geki the bullshit. Most broken card in the Lightsworn deck. My favorite card. Oh, and by the way, this is the last monster. Lila. Extra back row hate. This card works with the Omega combo and basically a better Call of the Haunted. So, Rise to Full Height. This one probably confuses you the most. I'll show you. Excuse me. It's kind of late when I'm recording this, so bear with me. The combo is with this card. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is the Rise to Full Height Omega combo. Basically, the idea is if this is in your graveyard, you make this. During your draw phase, you activate it from the graveyard, you target Omega. Alright, now it's banished. Now Omega's effect during the standby phase puts a banished card back in the graveyard. You put Rise to Full Height back in the grave. Then during your opponent's main phase, after they've activated something, you chain Omega, getting it banished. Now they cannot attack. Then during your turn, it comes back, and you just constantly do this loop where you bop, gone. They never get a chance to swing at you. And this allows you to load up your board. Basically, think of this guy as this trap card is as a better electromagnetic turtle. Because you can set this card. It's also really good discard fodder. So that's one of the combos. Let me see here. Why don't I shuffle up the deck here and I'll kind of give you guys an example of a combo that might happen. Opening hand. Alright, not the greatest, but not the best. So first off, we'll go charge. Mill 3. We did not mill a Lightsworn, but that's alright. We're gonna go get Raiden. Because we opened up the Goblinberg, Raiden Mills. Alright. Now we sync for Omega. Set the Rise. During their draw phase, activate the Rise, target the Omega. Alright. Also still in their draw phase, Rise to Full Height, banish. Target the Omega during the standby phase, put it back. During their turn, when they activate it or draw or summon something, response, blop, gone. Now the opponent is frustrated and they can't attack us, and we have no board. Haha! So, you guys are probably wondering, like, one of the other combos you might see in this deck is, like, let's say you get the Orbital Hydralander, and you need the, like I said, the Fairy Tale Snow. That's the obvious one that you know about. You just saw me show you a basic play with the stall thing with Psyframe. But another thing that I do in this deck is getting out this guy. And to do that, you need Glow Up Bulb. There's just no ways around that. But if you get Glow Up Bulb, these three guys equal up to this, basically. This could be any level 4 non-tuner that's synchroable. And then, of course, any tuner. But in this case, we're going to go with Raiden. So we get these guys. You make Scarlight. Sometimes you get to blow something up. Sometimes you don't. It is what it is. Then, of course, you make this guy. And now you have a Walking Negate. And this card is worth sitting there on because you have so much disruption between Orbital Hydralander, Fairy Tale Snow, and then, of course, now you have a Walking Negate that also brings back a tuner every turn. So, like, legitimately, I have ended boards that look something like this. And just, like, watch my opponent cry. Because they can't do anything. And I probably have an Omega coming back, too. So, like, legitimately, I will have boards that look like this. I'll do the fucking trick, and then their opponent's going, I can't attack! Geki, negate. Fuck! Summon badass monster, blow it up. damn it! Fairy Tale's in the graveyard. Oh, put that badass monster face down. Fuck! I have had so many rage quits. You have no idea. That video was so difficult. Another combo that you might see here that you probably don't see too often is when we get enough monsters, for example, let's say we have like this entire deck banished or whatever. You know, we got this card, or even just this. This is another 2-card combo that's really decent. I've done this. I'll show this first before I show you the combo I was going to show you. So we'll go like Pot of Desires. We only play one because we don't want to, you know, mill out all the time. And then, of course, just summon your big 4,000 beat stick and just wreck. Or set it. They don't know what it is. Most of the time they just attack into it because they're like, I'm not worried. And then they're like, oh, you just took damage. Because they think Lightsworn. They don't think this big defense monster is sitting there. Now, another one of the combos that happens sometimes from time to time is this card will get banished by Fairy Tale Snow, right? Let me just pull this off because I don't want to shock you guys. But if we get like three level 4 monsters, doesn't matter what the 3 monsters are, Ujinte, Amaterasu. So during my turn, I bring this fucker back, and he's got like 13,000+ attack points. Not 1,300, 13,000+ thousand. And the other cool thing is, another combo you can do is during your opponent's turn, is you can bring back something really, the things that really intimidate the opponent, like hand traps. So now your opponent is staring down something like Bujin Amaterasu, Grand Maju, and then of course you've got a random hand trap in there. Whether that's in my case, let's say that randomly that's either Ghost Ogre or Maxi, either way in my case. But your opponent is pretty much terrified. Plus, if you've played well enough and you've used some of your Link monsters, like say Decode Talker, like the best field I have ever pulled off looked something like this. Now this doesn't happen often, and to pull this off, I have to draw Soul Charge. I'm going to tell you that right now, this is not an easy combo to pull off. But if you pull it off, you can pull off a field that looks something like this. Decode Talker in one of the zones, of course, with a Proxy Dragon. This is legitimately the best move I have ever pulled off. And then, of course, that's like the best move, and usually with some random monster right here. More than likely, that's something like Fairy Tale Snow. But if you pull off this board, and you know what I mean, and I've used this guy to put one of these back in my hand. So, like, this is my hand. You obviously know it's in the graveyard. This is what the field you're staring at. If you're not winning with this, I don't know what you're doing wrong. Or your opponent has opened even more godly than you have. In that case, I would like to watch that replay. Alright guys, well, I'm Ben 10,000 of YGO. I hope you enjoyed this little combo video. I hope it's not too wacky for you. If you guys have any questions, please leave a question in the comments below, and I will answer them. I will definitely take time out of my day to do so. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for future content. Make sure you go down into the comments and leave a comment for where you would like the channel to go and for future decks that you would like to see. I've got no problem giving the people what they want. As you can see on the screen are the titles to all of my other social media pages. Please feel free to check out my other YouTube channel, Unbound Series channel, and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and my Facebook page, Unbound Book Series. I post a lot of things over there that I think you guys will find entertaining and interesting, and check into the description for ways that you can support this channel. I'm Ben 10,000 of YGO, and I'm signing off.